Hello there, this is MTG Degree, my name is Luke, and today we're going to talk about buying a new deck in Magic. As most of us know, Magic is not exactly a cheap hobby, and so you can find yourself in buyer's remorse situations quite easily. So I'm going to do my best to give a guide to stop that from happening. The first step you should take if you don't know a format well is to figure out what kind of decks are in it. Now, a great place to do this is MTG Top 8. You can go along the top and pick, standard, modern, legacy, and then you'll see on the left what percentage of those formats are each deck. And this will make sure that when you pick a deck of these, that you have some chance of being competitive. It's very easy to go on a Magic website and see a really fringe deck that looks super fun to play, but a lot of us like to actually have a reasonable chance of winning too, and so going on MTG Top 8 and seeing what decks are actually winning can be a great first step. The next step will take a little bit of your time, but it's time worth investing considering how expensive these decks can be. And it is to watch these decks being played by somebody else. I highly suggest Channel Fireball. If you go on their YouTube channel, you can see many decks played in modern, standard, whatever, legacy, and you can see it played by pros. When you see a pro play a deck, then you get to see all of the little nuances in the deck and learn why the deck list is as it is. And it'll help you decide if that style of gameplay is one that you might be interested in. At this point, many people are tempted to just go out and buy the deck. They've looked at the deck list, they know that it fits in the format well, they've seen it played by a pro and it looks really fun. But it's really expensive and you haven't even tried playing it yet. So at this point, I highly suggest going out and proxying the deck, which just means going on a proxy website. Can't get one off the top of my head, but I'll put one in the description. And you can just print off entire deck lists and just cut out all the little cards and then put them in sleeves. And then you can try playing them against your friends or whatever. And then the next step is to play the deck and play it a lot of times. Now, the reason that I suggest this is because some decks look really cool, but you might get tired of them. So for example, there's Ad Nauseam combo in Modern, and you might see people combo off with Ad Nauseam and be like, oh man, that is sweet. That is exactly what I want to do. And then you play it 20 times, and maybe you love it, and that's great. But another possibility is you say, man, all of the games I'm just searching for this combo, and that's it. I'm not really like attacking with creatures or anything like that. And that might be boring to just be looking for the same combo. If you love the puzzle of finding combos, then that deck's for you and you'll find that out. If it's not for you, then you'll find that out too and you won't spend a bunch of money before you have to. The next step is to take your trade binder, all the cards of some value that you own, go to your F&M and try to trade for as many pieces as possible. Just buying these decks straight up is very expensive, so if you can trade away cards that you aren't using towards a deck that you would like to use, then that's a great first step. Also, I would suggest going on any organized play websites. Go see if there's GPs happening near you, SCG opens, and there's thousands of people there, and most of them bring trade binders. So when you go with your own trade binder, you have a great chance of finding tons of the pieces that you need, so you don't need to just throw money at cards. You can throw cards at cards, which feels a lot better. Now it's time to buy cards, and this is actually somewhat of a touchy subject in the Magic community in the sense that a lot of people will say, buy them from your local game store to help your local game store. Well, the very honest truth of that is, unless your local game store is extremely competitive in your prices, it's probably going to be more expensive than buying online. And that's really too bad. So if you have a really constrained budget, it might not make sense to buy cards from your local game store. They also probably don't have the collection for you to finish, but a lot of people want you to buy a good portion from your local game store, whatever they can sell you. If you have a good amount of disposable income and you want to support your local game store in that way, then by all means do that. But if you have a more constrained budget, you're a college student or some such, then you might need other options. So the two big options in North America and the EU respectively are TCG Player and Magic Card Market. These two websites are essentially the same. They're like eBay, except the only thing that you're allowed to sell on it is Magic cards. And so you can go and see cards being sold by different people. They're all competing for pricing and whatnot. And that tends to make the stores that sell there sell for relatively cheap. But there is one thing that tends to happen on these websites that you should be aware of. And that is, if you're trying to find a card that was, printed a while ago, it's fairly scarce, then it might be hard to find a playset from one buyer. If you're buying from 4 different people, one card from each one, then your shipping costs go up substantially. So it can be good for those cards that you can't find playsets of and the shipping is killing you to go to a place like Channel Fireball or Star City Games, see if they have a playset, and if the difference in price is made up for by the fact that you're only paying one piece of shipping, then you can save money that way. It can be a little bit more complex, but overall you should be able to save some amount of money by making sure you're watching for that shipping. And speaking of shipping, sometimes you'll see on places like TCG Player them selling a card for a reasonable price and then adding $10 shipping or whatever. So be aware that you need to look at the shipping as well. Now in the comments section, I'm certainly not the only person who's bought a deck of Magic cards before, so I'm sure there's lots of pro tips and tricks from the many thousands of viewers out there. So if you wouldn't mind helping out the beginners and writing what you think is a good way to buy Magic cards, that would be fantastic. Well, that sums it up for today. If you enjoyed the video, of course, you can hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, you can hit that subscribe button. And as always, I'll see you next video.